Okay, think about this. An invisible witness tracking your every move, silently recording everywhere you've been. Now, this isn't science fiction. It's actually, your digital footprint, specifically your location data. And it's being used in ways you might not expect, sometimes in really sensitive areas, like health insurance claims. Today, we're doing a deep dive into how something like your Google Maps timeline, pretty common, right, can suddenly become this huge problematic piece of evidence.
Exactly. And what makes this deep dive so important, particularly for you listening, is that we're looking at a specific, quite recent consumer court ruling. This case really pulls back the curtain on digital privacy, the actual legal weight of digital evidence, and this clash between our online trails and our real-world lives and needs.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack this case, understand who can access your data, what it's really worth as proof, legally speaking, and what it means for your privacy. By the end, you'll have a much clearer picture of these, frankly, critical issues. Maybe some new questions, too. Okay, let's get into it. The story starts with Vallabh Motka, a resident of Silvassa. Now, he had a Mediclaim policy, like many people do. His was worth about 6.5 lakh from Go Digit General Insurance. So Mr. Motka gets hospitalized for viral pneumonia. So it's at RM Hospital in Silvassa back in September 2024, from the 11th to the 14th. After he's discharged, he files a claim for $48,251, sends in all the hospital documents, everything needed. Pretty standard stuff, right?
Seems totally standard.
But then, here's where it gets really interesting. His claim gets rejected. The rejection letter from the insurer, it mentioned discrepancies, and crucially, it cited his Google timeline location data, suggesting he wasn't actually at the hospital when he was supposed to be admitted.
Wow, imagine receiving that, your phone data being used to deny medical coverage.
Exactly. So, faced with this, Mr. Motka didn't just accept it. He decided to fight back. He took his case to the Consumer Forum in March 2025 because the insurance company just wouldn't reconsider.
And that's where his advocate, A.N. Desai, steps in. His argument was really key here. Mr. Desai presented the certificate from the treating doctor, making it clear Mr. Motka's treatment happened under proper medical supervision. But the core of his argument, and this is what's so important, was that a digital record, like Google Timeline, it just shouldn't automatically trump authenticated medical documents, documents from actual doctors.
So it's the doctor's word versus the algorithm, essentially.
Basically, yes. It really questions what we consider solid proof now, what carries more weight.
So the big question, how did the Consumer Commission rule? The Valsad CDRC. What did they decide? Well, they sided firmly, decisively with Mr. Motka.
A clear win for him, then.
Absolutely. The outcome. Go Digit General Insurance was ordered to pay the full claim, the $48,251. And importantly, they also had to pay extra compensation for the mental harassment he went through.
That's significant. And what about the Commission's reasoning? Did they address the Google timeline data specifically?
They did. And this is fascinating. They explicitly said the insurance company used incorrect information about the Google timeline. Even more, the investigation report, they had actually confirmed Mr. Motka was treated as an indoor patient. The Commission stated the timeline discrepancy was, and I quote, wrongly cited.
So the insurer's own investigation contradicted their reason for denial.
It appears so. The Commission basically concluded the insurer ignored the doctor's certificate, possibly, with the intent to reject the claim. That's quite a strong statement from the Commission.
Okay, so this specific case had a clear resolution. But what does it signal more broadly? What does this mean for you listening right now and your own digital data? Advocate Desai's warnings after the ruling really push us into these bigger privacy questions. Yeah, connecting the dots here, Advocate Desai pointed out some frankly alarming practices he's seen. He mentioned that some insurance investigators might be, allegedly misleading patients, getting access to their phones, and then secretly checking their Google timeline data.
Secretly checking their phones. Is that even legal?
That's exactly his point. He stressed it's illegal. Investigators don't have the legal authority to just delve into someone's private phone details like that. It raises huge boundary questions.
And it also brings up how reliable this location data actually is. I mean, think about it yourself. Have you ever turned off location services? Or been in a place with terrible reception, like, a hospital maybe? Your timeline could be incomplete or just plain wrong, couldn't it?
Precisely. Network issues, settings turned off. It's far from a perfect, infallible record. And that inherent unreliability, plus the potential for illegal access. That's why the court's stance on verification is so critical.
What was the key legal point there?
The critical assertion, the takeaway here is, unless Google officials actually come to court and officially verify that timeline data, It holds no legal validity as evidence. Zero. That's a huge point for anyone worried about, passively collected digital data being weaponized against them financially or legally. It sets a real precedent.
So to wrap up this deep dive, what are the main things we've learned today? It seems clear that authenticated medical proof won out over unverified digital data. That's one. We've also seen the serious privacy risks when investigators potentially overstep boundaries with accessing personal data.
Right. And third, the questionable legal standing of these informal digital footprints unless they're formally verified in court. That lack of inherent legal validity is crucial.
It really makes you think.
It does. And perhaps the thought to leave you with is this. As our lives get more and more tangled up with our digital devices, how much real control do we have over these digital shadows we cast? And what other battles over digital privacy might this case foreshadow for all of us down the road? It feels like this is just the beginning, doesn't it?